Hey guys, Josh here, and today I'm going to be showing you, well, telling you why and how I invest 90% of my earnings at the age of 20. Now, this is something that a few people have asked me to show and explain, and it's something that I'm happy to show you. Um, it's something that I have started in January of this year, and it's going quite well so far. We're doing well, I'm hitting all of my targets, and I'm really looking forward to the outcome at the end of it. Now, I'm going to be telling you why I've decided to do this and how I'm doing it, and then I'm going to show you my favorite website to use. Now, I will put a referral link in the description box below, and that referral link I will put like a description up on the screen now. So I just went over to Funding Circle to have a little look at what the promotion actually was. And this is basically it. You share £100 with a friend, and if we go down to how it works, you need to open an account, transfer in £2,000 or more, and start lending by the end of June. So we're in May at the moment. So you've got, what, 2 months to put £2,000 in. You could do £1,000 in May, £1,000 in June. And you need to keep your funds active throughout July. So you need to basically keep them lent throughout July. And then we should receive a £50 Amazon gift voucher each. Okay, so if you've got £2,000 spare or lying about in a savings account, you can pop them in and try if you want to take the risk. Remember, there is risk for reward. So yeah, I will pop the referral link in the description below, so you can check that out. There are also some terms and conditions and restrictions and stuff, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, I'll put those links down there as well if I can. So yeah. If you use the referral link, thank you very much. It just helps me in a small way, and also it means you get a reward as well. Now, let's get on. So, why do I invest? To start with, I have no plans to use a majority of my money in the next 3 to 10 years. If I want to use it, I'm going to use it in either this year, next year. You know, by the third year, I'm probably not going to use it. That's kind of what I've thought. I've written down a plan, a time plan of everything in the next year or two, and I think 3 to 10 years is long enough for me to spend what I want to spend now and then have enough to save. So yeah, I'm not going to touch it for about 3 to 10 years, so I might as well invest it. If I'm not using it, I'm not going to leave it in a bank account. Where, as you see, the fourth point is beat inflation. Inflation basically means your money becomes worthless. The longer it sits in a bank account, it's going to get worthless and worthless and worthless. It's about I think it's 2.5% or 2.2%. Each year, your money is going to be 2.2% worth less. Okay, now that adds up over 10 years. That's 22%. Okay, it's a big factor to to count. Why do I invest it rather than keep it in a bank account? Well, I'm earning more than 5 to 10 times my normal bank interest rate. Okay, the highest I can get is my cash ISA, which I believe is 0.65%. Now, I'm currently on, for the website that I'm going to be showing you, 9.9%. Okay, and it fluctuates. It's usually around the just over 10% mark, but sometimes it can go as low as 7, sometimes it can go as high as 12, but it never drops below 7%, and on average, I'm around the 9 to 10% mark. And I also want to do it because I can earn a passive income. Now, at the end of the day, I would love to have maybe 5 to 10 years worth of earnings thrown away into a investment ISA, which this website does offer, just to let you know. Thrown into a investment ISA and basically be able to withdraw, let's say, £100 a month, £200 a month, just to help me keep ticking over. If it means I can work a little bit less in my early 30s, I'll be more than happy with that. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to invest for my future. I don't want to work until I'm, 60, 70. The way the world's going at the moment, you have to work longer and you have to work harder. I think I can beat the system by doing this, and that's why I'm doing it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I would like to earn a passive income, and I will kind of explain that in a little bit later on. Now, I invest in a few different ways, but I'm only showing you one today. So there are a few things you can research. P2P lending, which is what I'm going to be showing you. The website I'm going to be showing is called Funding Circle. However, there is one called Reseller. You can have a little look at that one. Bonds. Bonds from the NS and NSI. I'll put the name here. Basically, it's a government-funded website that sells bonds. There are number bonds, which is like a lottery sort of bingo system. There are income bonds, fixed income bonds. Bonds are great if you have a large amount of money, like a sort of inheritance, and you don't know what to do with it. You can chuck it in a bond, leave it for a couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever, and then move it to whatever you want to do afterwards. It's great as a short-term sort of savings account with a higher interest rate than your bank. And then there's stocks and shares. Stocks and shares, I would say, the highest risk and also the longest to wait. You have to wait the longest to get them. So the stock market has always gone up. If you look at pictures or you look at other people's shares and stocks and everything, they always end up going up. Okay, they always go upwards in the end. It might just take 10 or so years to get there. So if you can invest now, let's say if I invest £10,000 at age of 20, by the time I'm 30 or 40, that might be worth £20,000. Okay, that's kind of how the stock market works. If you do compound interest, where all of your dividends get reinvested, you're obviously going to earn a whole lot more money. There's a load of YouTube videos about that out there. I would definitely recommend looking at them. Just very quickly, if you want a free stocks and shares program or app, I should say, there's one called Free Trade, which has opened recently. Okay, it's free to use. It's free to buy your shares. There are a few sort of catches with the free part of it, but it does clearly explain it. But yeah, I've brought some shares in B&M and they've done quite well. I think I'm on about 7% up on them at the moment, which is great. Now, there are a few other investment things you can do. You can go into the housing market. I've always found that to be a little bit more risky. It just, if the house doesn't get built or something goes wrong, I kind of stay away from them. So these are the three that I stick to: P2P lending, bonds, and stocks and shares. Now, let's talk about funding circle. So a lot on the screen. It's generally just so I can read it off and say what I want to say. So you can stop it and read it. It's just abbreviations of things. Or you can just turn away and listen to what I'm saying at the moment. So, funding circle, how does it work? It works by lending loans in £10 increments to businesses. Okay, now what this does, it reduces the risk as all of your eggs are in multiple baskets. You're not lending one business £1,000, you're lending 100 businesses £10. So if one of the 100 don't pay their loan back on time, you still have 99 other loans paying you interest. Okay, that's kind of how it works. I think it's if 10 loans don't repay you, then you sort of just get your initial investment back. But that's never going to happen, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But yeah, they basically reduce the risk by investing £10 into lots and lots of businesses rather than one. And if that business does go under, you're only losing £10, which, come on, £10 is nothing. It's really not a lot. So my current plan for the year is to invest £1,000 a month in Funding Circle over 5 years, and also this is the first of the 5 years, which will give me £60,000 in total. And in turn, with interest and everything, that would turn into £75,000. So I would have earned £15,000 interest. Now, interest rates I went over a little bit earlier, 7 to 11%. My average at the moment is 9%, and this is after bad debt. Now, if you don't know what P2P investment is, you won't know what bad debt means and how the interest rates are calculated on these websites. So, the interest rates they calculate are minus bad debt. So, Funding Circle knows that in, let's say, the last 10,000 loans, 2% of them did not repay and they went to a bad debt. So they will adjust their interest rate level minus that 2%. So that is a very, very accurate interest rate. So it's not like they say you'll get 9%, but you're actually going to get 20 million people that don't repay you back and you're actually going to lose money. That would never happen because Funding Circle does the calculations for you to say, we've done the maths. If so many of your loans don't repay, on average it's 2% or whatever, 1%, you'll get 9% interest back. Okay, so that is your pure interest. It's not, going to change very much during it. they actually promote, I think it's about 6 to 8% or 7 to 9% or something. But usually I'm on about 9 to 11%, so I'm on higher than expected at the moment. And yeah, like I said, I'm on 9.6%, even with 6 loan repayments that were running a little bit late. I think I've been paid them now, so we're all good. I can withdraw whenever I want to, as soon as the loan is sold. But you can't sell a loan, I think it's with less than 3 months. It could be 2, but if it's got a very small sort of loan time remaining, it won't let you sell them. You just have to wait. So that's why it's good to get a couple of loans every sort of month. That's why I'm doing £1,000 a month. I'll get 100 new loans, so I can quickly sell some off, and I'll get my money back quickly. So yeah, you have to sell the loan to someone else, so there has to be another lender with money in their account ready to buy a loan, okay? But yeah, as soon as it sells, you can have your money. There's no wait, there's no fee, there's no delay. As long as you can sell the loan, you'll get your money back. Now, one very important thing to note is peer-to-peer websites are not covered by the Government-Backed Financial Service Compensation Scheme, also known as the FSCS, which protects bank savers up to £75,000. Now, this means if Funding Circle disappears tomorrow, you might lose all your money, but you won't. Now, Funding Circle has a very, very clearly written out explanation of this on their website, and it's very true. Your loans are not through Funding Circle. Funding Circle has nothing to do with your money. All they do is help you find the loan partner. So basically, your loan is with that business. So if Funding Circle disappears tomorrow, you're still going to have that loan active. You're still going to get your repayment back. Funding Circle won't lose you any money. The only money you may lose is what's in your account waiting to go out to a loan. Usually it's under £10, because obviously you need £10 in your account to be loaned. So the most you're going to lose is £9.99, which, come on, is not a lot. And £75,000 will be saved anyway because it's held in a bank account. So you may get a couple of pounds back, maybe, if you're lucky, but the most you'll lose is £9.99. And they do have a plan in place where if Funding Circle goes down tomorrow, they will have another website take on the loan so you can keep track of everything. And you technically won't lose any money, but there is still a risk. You need to understand that investments involve risk, but you're never going to get anywhere in life unless you take a risk. Never risk more than you're willing to lose. So in this case, it's £10 because it's per loan. £10 is not a lot of money to risk, okay? But just do your research, make sure you're happy to invest money to start with. Maybe start a bit small. You need to open with £1,000 in the account, but then you can start depositing £10 a month, £100 a month. And I've done two quick calculations here on the right-hand side. The pictures are a bit blurry because I've stretched them, but let me just explain. If you look in the charts on the right-hand side, you will see that I've done a quick calculations showing you a £100 deposit per month after your £1,000 initial. Now, the top right one is for Funding Circle, and that is obviously £1,000 to start with, and at the end, £1,200 deposited by £100 a month. That will earn you £153 interest. The bottom one is on a bank account with 0.65%. That's generally your cash ISA. And that will only pay you £18 interest on the exact same money. Okay, that's almost 10 times higher. That's about, 8-9 times higher or so? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy that there's such a huge difference. And, anyone can go and join Funding Circle. Anyone can go and invest their money and get so much more for their saving. But it's not promoted because the banks won't make any money. So hopefully this has been helpful. It's what I'm doing now to earn my future savings, my future pension, because at the moment I'm not entitled to a pension. I'm not old enough yet. But I want to have a nice chunk of money for when I retire, or when I want to go and buy a house, or when I want to buy a new car, or when I want to do something. I want to have a nice chunk of money available. That's going to earn me a bit of a passive income in the meantime and grow. My money is actually going to grow, whereas if it was in my bank account, it would just drop and drop and become worthless and worthless and worthless. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope this has been helpful. To those who are asking about how I invest my money, I hope this has also been a bit interesting. There's so many videos on YouTube. Some are rubbish, some are amazing. You'll very quickly be able to tell which ones are good and which ones are not. But there's so much information, which is why I didn't want to go too much into you know, the calculations of stuff, how things work, how to set things up. It's all on YouTube. Just do a couple of quick searches, a bit of research, and yeah, hopefully this is basically going to help you save just like me. Even if you start small, like the, you know, £1,000 and 1,200 over a year, that should be something everyone can do just to put away. You know, even if you're saving up for a holiday or a cruise or maybe a new car, it's nice to just throw in a little bit. You can set up, I think you can set up a direct debit as well. So you probably won't even notice the money coming out if you take £10, £20 or so a month. And you know, it's nice for it to grow. So yeah, funding circle at the moment for me is a house deposit. I am aiming to get 40% house deposit or 30% house deposit before I actually go and buy a house. It's very doable. It would take me maybe 4 or 5 years to get there. Well, I think 3 to 5, let's say. But yeah, that's what I want. That is my current goal and what I want to do at the moment. So I hope this has been helpful. So I am just going to sit on this page a second. I totally forgot to mention the tax side of it. Now, peer-to-peer investing comes under your personal tax allowance, which is £1,000 interest per year, tax year. So if you don't have a ISA account on Funding Circle, you can have £1,000 interest. Now I will put a link to a calculator below so you can actually work out kind of how much that is with the percentage you're going to get. You know, at the moment I am sticking with that a basic account which is only just under £1,000, and then I have obviously an ISA account I'm slowly moving money into. Obviously you don't pay tax on an ISA, and I would really recommend getting an ISA to start with, especially if you're not wanting to touch the money for quite a while. Or have 2 accounts and put maybe a long-term savings in the ISA and a short-term savings in the standard account. But just remember, you are allowed £1,000 tax-free on your interest, your investments. So yeah, I will see you all very soon, and thank you for watching.